Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. But we've got no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Take it, Wesley.
It doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought some corn for plopping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Wait. That was really good, but it didn't feel right, did it?
Doesn't snow here.
It doesn't snow. It's Texas, and it's 2020.
True.
Should we try the other version?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Oh, the COVID stats are frightful, but seeing people is so delightful. Yet we're wearing our masks down low. Cover your nose, cover your nose, cover your nose.
It doesn't show signs of stopping, and our patience, it is dropping. To 2021 we just want to go. Cover your nose, cover your nose, cover your nose.
When we finally get the shot and enjoy going out in the store, the sun on our face will be hot. Life will get back to the norm.
But the calendar is slowly turning, and the virus, it keeps on burning, and we're still wearing our masks down low. Cover your nose, cover your nose, cover your nose.
That felt better, didn't it?
It did feel a lot better. Yeah, made more sense.
Texas 2020.
Yeah. Also, you know, do you know how gingerbread keep their beds warm at night?
No. Why?
They use a cookie sheet.
Oh.
Dads are dads. Dads tell jokes. Dad jokes for dads. Hi, dads.
Welcome to Pastors at 6 Feet. Home to nonsense, dad jokes, good news, and we hope a little joy this Advent season. I'm Pastor Daniel, and I'm so excited to share with you this amazing artwork for today. Sky Ewell did this for us. This is the first time I have ever been painted in my entire life, and Pastor Melissa's there too. It is fantastic, and we thank you, Sky. You are amazing and awesome. You're a gift to us. Today, as we get started on Pastors at 6 Feet, we know that there's a lot of doom and gloom in the world today. All we have to do is look at the sky-high COVID numbers, the infections in our community, and the ways that it's hitting home even within our own families, our own church family, our own neighborhoods, to know that there's plenty to struggle with these days. But we also know that good news is in our midst. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I had the joy of talking to one of our doctors here in the congregation this last week, and they shared with me that beginning this last week, they're going to go to work with their sleeves short, ready to get the shot. The shot that many of us will have to wait for the sun to be warm on our faces to get, but they will get it very, very soon. So in this season where we look to the birth of Christ, the one who came in a small, unexpected baby, and yet still transformed the world. May we be people who seek to transform the world in small, unexpected ways, and give thanks for all of the times where God meets us there. So enjoy this Christmas season. Enjoy this episode. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, but more than all, remember to cover your nose, cover your nose, cover your nose, until the day when we all get the shot.
Okay, we are ready.
Good morning.
It's all right. We'll keep it rolling.
Highlight it first.
Incarnate God, as we light this candle of hope.
I don't know where you would like.
No,
this
I
to
love
be.
I love what y'all have done. Like, I think the three of y'all can kind of stand.
Yeah, and we're like, I
around.
don't know if we really want our bar showing back there.
Well, we can, if it's a little bit in there, we're Methodist.
On the first day of Christmas 2020 gave to me endless days of quarantine. On the second day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 2 latex gloves and endless days of quarantine. On the third day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves and endless days of quarantine. On the fourth day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the fifth day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the sixth day of Christmas 2020 said to me 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the seventh day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the 8th day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 8 rolls of Charmin, 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the 9th day of Christmas 2020 gave to me 9 at-home haircuts, 8 rolls of Charmin, 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the 10th day of Christmas 2020 said to me, your pants don't fit now, 9 at-home haircuts, 8 rolls of Charmin, 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the 11th day of Christmas 2020 said to me, cancel your vacation, your pants don't fit now, 9 at-home haircuts, 8 rolls of Charmin, 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. On the 12th day of Christmas 2020 said to me, how about boys and girls, cancel your vacation, your pants don't fit now, 9 at-home haircuts, 8 rolls of Charmin, 7 hand sanitizers, 6 feet apart, 5 market crashes, 4 months off school, 3 medical masks, 2 latex gloves, and endless days of quarantine. And endless
Where we going? We're getting out of the house.
Getting out of the house.
Oh, that's right, out of the house.
We're getting out of the house.
We're getting out of the house. There.
We're getting out of the house.
That's where we're going.
We're getting out of the house.
Yeah. Getting out of the house with Allison House.
Hey y'all, it's Allison House and I'm the community correspondent for Pastors at 6 Feet. And we're out here in our community trying to search for some good news. Today we're going to be meeting with Master Teacher Sarah Molden and seeing what she is up to. So join me as we go speak with her because this house is getting out of the house. Hey guys, we're here with Master Teacher Sarah Molden. She's my coworker and most importantly, she's my friend. And so we're gonna kind of catch up and see what Sarah has been up to. She always has a lot of stuff going on. So we are socially distant, so we are gonna unmask for a little bit and ask Sarah what's been going on. It's been a long year, and I have been saying months, but now it's a long year. And we've been out in the community trying to find some good news and how people have been shining their light. And we just want to know what you have seen from your perspective over the last long months.
Well, I can't tell you what a breath of fresh air it was to be back at school. Probably about a year ago in a committee meeting with Daniel, he was talking about this philosopher, a Presbyterian minister, Frederick Buechner. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably slaughter it, but he said where your deep passion and where the world's greatest hunger meet, that's your vocation, that's your calling. And I feel strongly that that's right here at Wheat Middle School. And I'm so grateful and thankful to be
What's happening?
That's the bell. That's the bell.
It aggravates us during the week, and
Now here we are.
That was good to
that was good.
Well, I think that's a good interruption into the project that we've currently got going on. At the beginning of the year, we decided that we wanted to bring some light to students at Wheat Middle School in the way of a story. There's a reading researcher who says that stories are mirrors, places in which we can see ourselves, windows, places in which we can see glimpses into other people's lives, and sliding glass doors, places where we are transformed into another world and are able to experience something that we don't even know. And so, there's the rest of the bell. What we are striving to do with this project is provide stories to students, and they're going to gift those stories. We have books from baby board books all the way up to books that would be appropriate for junior high and high school students.
Yes, we do.
So they're going to get to select a book and take it home with them to share that story with someone else.
It's been a great project, and through Sarah's vision of this, I have seen the light shine so brightly through our staff. People have brought wrapping paper. They've given us money. They have come in here on their conference period to sit here and wrap. We have over 1,000 books and more on the other side as well. But it has really bonded us as a team, as a grade level, as a school, and I just see everybody rallying behind this project.
Absolutely. There was a substitute here on Friday before we left, and she was subbing just down the hall here, but she saw what we were doing, and it was that teacher's conference. She just came in here and sat down and started rapping. I don't have anything else to do, she said. I will do this. And I said, fantastic. That is wonderful. And I think just to tag on to what you were saying, it's just that this year has felt fragmented. And to be able to be part of this project and to see like everyone having a common goal and working toward that, each little light creates that warmth.
Right.
And I can feel that.
I can feel it too. And as we tag from the last sermon series of simple acts of generosity, And this kind of leads us into our Advent season. And I just want to remind everybody that sometimes we are the only light that people see. And it could be as simple as putting a book in a family's hands. So go shine bright during this Advent season, y'all.
Hey, we're two pastors.
We are.
It's a Christmas extravaganza.
It is.
We're 6 feet apart.
6 feet apart. Music extravaganza.
Music extravaganza.
The carols that speak to our souls, the vinyl theology Christmas edition, the
Yeah.
mashup of all COVID Christmas songs. You've heard it all so far.
And now we're just going to have a conversation
We are.
about music.
About music. And specifically, I think it's interesting. I think the carols and the Christmas songs that just grip us.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's got their own different ones that grip you. And so,
Right.
what is it that grips you this year, I guess?
I love that question because there's actually a Christmas song that like I've never really connected to. It's one that I think as soon as I say it, everyone's going to be like, yeah, I know it. And I'm probably going to butcher saying it. But at the same time, this year in particular is the first time that I think I really knew what the song was singing about.
Okay.
And it's Good King Wenceslas.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Wenceslas?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wenceslas. So this year in particular, Ren Collective released a new Christmas
Okay.
album.
Okay.
And I love it. If you haven't listened to it, highly recommend. And they do a cover of this song. And in it, like, it's the first time that I think I didn't just go like, you know,
Sure.
like you just
Yeah,
kind of do
yeah.
that. But you realize that the song is about a good king that sees this like peasant out in the snow, and like the snow is pristine. And he calls to his servants like, bring me mead, bring me wine, light the Yule log, like all of this kind of stuff. And then this king actually leaves all that, like he's calling it for this guest, but then he leaves it all behind.
Yeah.
And there's this line of that the saint, like that he walked in the dented snow where the saint had printed. And so I just love that like call that
Yeah.
even in the years where like we have the warmth and we have everything we need in our home, like sometimes the saints, the Messiah in our life
Yeah.
like calls us to like follow perfectly in the footprints of the snow
Okay.
and leave it behind for what goodness we might find there. So that's been the song
Okay.
that's like
Very good.
speaking to me this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
In the Hawkins house, the song of 2019
Okay.
was "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas," and not that it has any deep theological grounding or anything like that, but it was just the song that came up
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And this year, when we're searching for Christmas
Okay.
things, we actually found a giant stuffed hippopotamus thing with a little book that goes with it that says "I want a hippopotamus for Christmas."
So it's the 2020 song too?
No, it's not.
Oh.
And sadly, it's a year late. It doesn't have the same meaning this year somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love the imagery of Good King Wenceslas, and I think it's mirrored in the song that has really gripped me this year. And I have this thing, I don't know if you have it,
Okay.
where like when people go, "What are your 5 favorite songs?" I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, no, it changes.
It flows and changes so much, and
Yeah.
a lot of it depends on what have I been singing recently, right? But there are a number of sort of the songs within the canon that we often sing every year
Yeah.
that just kind of rotate for me,
Okay.
right? And I will still say the holiest of holy moments every year for me is Silent Night,
Yeah.
lifting up a candle at the end.
Same.
I mean, it's just light breaking forth into darkness, incarnation.
The voices like that. There's something in that experience that's
Right.
it's different yet the same and faithful every single year.
Well, in that moment where we sing 3 verses, and then Hazel just lifts up on the organ, and we're a cappella,
Yeah.
and that's where you've got a couple hundred people in the room, and we won't have that this year, but a couple hundred people in the room, and you got harmonies, you got melodies, you've got and you got people who can't carry a tune in a bucket.
But
right?
it doesn't matter.
But it all blends into this
Yeah.
beauty, and every year, because every year I watch for it, we manage on verse 5 when Hazel comes back in, we're in the right key, right? Which is only a thing for music nerds, but at the same time. So all that to say, this year our song or the song that has gripped me is one we actually spent some time with Dr. Bradley talking through. In the Bleak Midwinter. It's a song of vivid imagery. It's a song that I first sang back late in high school and early in college when my mama was a newfound preacher and I was the voluntold singer, right? But every time I sing it, it takes me back to those 11:30 p.m. Christmas Eve services where, you know, you're just that anticipation that is becoming like literal and real. We are launching into Christmas, right?
That's like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, but it's my favorite every Christmas Eve is that late service, like in the exiting, like when you leave, there's something. And I think there's something, you know, we have to acknowledge that things are different this year, right? We're having outdoor services, we're having live stream services. And so I think though, regardless, what I get excited about is the anticipation that builds. That I know God's faithfulness will still show up in Silent Night. I know God's faithfulness will still show up in that moment when you walk to your cars. Or if you're at home, like I guess my invitation is step outside, like act like you're leaving the service and then
take your
return.
candle with you out into the backyard, make a loop and come back in.
And then come back in.
Well, and for me, that's part of the message of In the Bleak Midwinter, right? Especially in this season, right? It's that the promise of the presence of Christ when everything is messed up. And when everything is beautiful. And when everything's kind of somewhere in between, right? We're in this kind of liminal space. And I feel like in some ways, that's a bit where we are too. But Christ shows up. And that's our hope for this Christmas season, right? Even in this in between.
The modern day interpretation of In the Bleak Midwinter got released this year, in my opinion. And it's Johnny Swim, if you're familiar with him, right? He does a lot of Christmas, Christian, like all of that kind of stuff. And this year he released a song called Pass Me a Pint. That's a Christmas song. But the essence of it is so similar because, you know, in the Bleak Midwinter, like there is this very pure and honest like evaluation that like sometimes when you look at snow, it's bleak. Like Johnny Swim puts it, like it's not romantic. Like the cold night is what is romantic about this? But also like as each of these songs progresses, there's a softening and there's a hope that's in it. So like Pass Me a Pint is about a guy in a bar like alone on Christmas Eve, and it's like, you know, keep your mistletoe, keep your like Christmas wishes and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden there's this community that's born as they all kind of sing, Pass Me a Pint. Like, you know. But there's this beauty in the softening and the hope that can show up when we allow ourselves to kind of like pause in the Advent season.
There's almost a giving up of the expectation, right? This is what it's supposed to be. I'm going to set this aside and then embrace and see where God's meeting in the midst of it. We spent a lot of Christmases in Missouri growing up because that's where my dad's folks are from. And we also spent time on vacation in Colorado a lot, right? Because it's Colorado.
It's Colorado.
Right. And this you're speaking of Johnny Swim and the snow thing reminded me that there's a vast difference between Missouri winter and Missouri snow and Colorado winter and Colorado snow, right? Colorado winter and snow is that dry but just buoyant and light-filled, light bouncing everywhere kind of snow, right? It's the thing that you're singing about in White Christmas, right? And Missouri is wet and dark, and at least in the northwest corner in St. Joe where we spent, I mean, beautiful family, beautiful moments, but like the snow was the kind of snow that would just hang on you and make you die of hypothermia rather than stuff you could ski through, right? And so that just that image of, you know, Christmas coming in both places is especially important, I think, for me this year. Because some days I'm here, some days I'm in Missouri, and some days I'm in Colorado. And some days we're in 2020.
You shifted and I wasn't with you yet.
But that there's beauty in that. And I think sometimes music has a gift of capturing that.
I think so.
In a way that's really, really helpful for us.
Would you put in the comment section your like what song's singing to you this Christmas? Like, let's have a conversation around that because, man, there's like we need good music. Like, I think
Yeah.
music carries us, especially this Advent season.
Amen. Thanks for joining us today on Pastors at 6 Feet. Remember,
You're going to tell us things.
I am going to tell us things. I was almost stuck in podcast mode there for a second.
I heard it.
Where we were going to go around the horn.
Share. You can like
Right.
and share this too.
Please do. You know, if you think that either one of the parody songs are worth a hang, please share them because they were fun to write, but also you never know if it's worth a hang until you put it out into the world.
That's
and so, anyway, remember, as always, good John Wesley tells us at Christmas time, but at every time, to do good, to do no harm, to stay in love with God, and in this time, stay 6 feet apart.
And now, let's get out of here. Go enjoy your Advent season as we draw so close to Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We're right here with you at Pastors at 6 Feet. See ya.
See ya.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways,